Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Headbangers Closet. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. We got another birthday episode for you guys today. Second day in a row we've had a birthday episode. Second day in a row it's a Metallica birthday episode. Metallica released Saint Anger June 5th, 2003. It is 18 years old today. It can now register for the draft. This is not a great record. My least favorite Metallica record, but I like to say that any Metallica record is better than no Metallica record. So that being said, it's alright. It's not great. I don't like the sound. I don't like the production. Whatever they did when they were recording this, I just wasn't on board with the way it came out. But there are some really good riffs on this album, and there's some pretty good songs. Frantic and Saint Anger aren't bad. I really like Some Kind of Monster, really like Sweet Amber, really like Unnamed Feeling. Invisible Kid, My World, Shoot Me Again, and All Within My Hands are pretty solid tracks. The artwork is top-notch. This guy right here, one of the record stores where I was living at the time in Massachusetts, had a huge one. It's like 7 foot tall. It said Saint Anger, the new album from Metallica, out June 5th, 2003. Pick it up here. And I was able to snag that poster about 2 weeks after the album came out. So one of my favorite items in my collection. I'll have to show you guys one day. But what's really cool about this one is you get the CD here, but here's the DVD. What's awesome about the DVD, it's the 4 guys in the band, Robert included, because if you know the story of Saint Anger, Bob Rock recorded the bass, the in-studio bass. Robert was hired on the band afterwards, but it's all 4 guys in the band playing each song on the album in order, front to back, live at Metallica's HQ studio. They sound way better live than they do on the record. So whatever they were doing, production-wise or whatever, it wasn't happening. It just didn't sound good. But them playing these songs live makes a world of difference. They sound really good live. The good riffs on the album sound even better. Chunkier, weightier, whatever you want to call it, sounds better. So, but this is a birthday episode, and in true Headbangers Closet fashion, we're not going to talk a ton about the album on the birthday episode. What I like to do is like to tell you guys a story revolving the record or the tour or something that happened that makes me think about this album or vice versa. Something when I listen to the album makes me think about a certain event. And there's 2 that come to mind. One of them's the main story of this episode is really a really special show for me for a couple of different reasons. But one story I want to tell you guys, just because I hate this particular band that I'm going to talk about now. So this album came out June 5th, 2003. They pretty much go right into the Summer Sanitarium tour. Opening bands, I didn't like any of them. Mudvayne was the first one. They were okay. Then you get the Deftones, which I hated. Linkin Park, hated. Limp Bizkit, hated with a passion. My hate for them was going to ramp up during this particular Summer Sanitarium tour. I saw 3 shows. First one was in Massachusetts, July 6, 2003, at the Foxborough Stadium where the Patriots play. Then it was Atlanta, Georgia, I believe, like the 11th. And then on the 18th, I saw them again in Washington, D.C., all in July. So always great to see Metallica. They put on a phenomenal performance. Really great set list, but I'm not going to get into that until I actually do my Saint Anger episode. But this particular stop in Massachusetts, July 6, 2003, Fred Durst for Limp Bizkit comes out, and he's looking like an ass, like he always is. He's got this huge mallet, and then he's got bat rather, and he's got a red New York Yankees hat on, in the heart of Red Sox territory. Now, I'm not that big of a jerk to be like, oh, why is he wearing, another team's hat? It's probably his favorite team. But the crowd started to boo, and somebody threw a Red Sox cap on, so he kicked it off the stage. Then somebody throws another one on the stage, and he puts it on, then throws it out. He's like, oh, I'm a Yankees fan. I love the Yankees. And the crowd starts booing. And like I said, it's the heart of Red Sox territory. Yankees and Red Sox is a hated rivalry. But it got a little worse from there. There was another episode between songs. I don't really remember what happened, but the crowd got pissed off at him again and started booing. Well, then the final straw happened. They play Sanitarium, a Metallica song, at a show Metallica's headlining. And I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I hate this band. They suck. I wish smartphones were around back then, because the whole time they were playing, I'd be like cruising through Twitter and Instagram and shit. But they play, and the crowd boos. They're turning around, doing one of these, like the old school Metallica shows. They're turning around, giving the finger, and I'm like right on the rail pretty much. So like a couple people behind, maybe like one guy from the rail. So crowd's getting mad, and he gets ticked off, and he's like, F all you guys. I'm rich. I'm up here doing what all you guys would love to do. Screw you. I'm going to go backstage, count my money, and have sex with a bunch of girls. And I just remember thinking, wow, what an ass. Complete douchebag. If I didn't hate him already, I would have hated him. That just made me hate him more. That's not even the story of this episode. I just hate Limp Bizkit. I wanted to get some of that Limp Bizkit hate out there in the world for you guys to all enjoy. So the main story of this episode, a couple months later, August 2003, I moved down to Georgia, and they announced the Madly in Anger with the World Tour, and Godsmack in support, which I dug. Those dudes are from Massachusetts just like me. I was a fan. I was excited to see them live. But I didn't know anybody. Didn't have any friends in Georgia at the time, so I kind of felt sort of like a loser buying one ticket. Here's my ticket to that show. November 13th, 2004, at the in Duluth, Georgia, the Gwinnett Center, or Gwinnett Arena, rather, in Duluth, Georgia. Most of you have probably seen Metallica in large professional basketball or hockey arenas. This was a smaller market-sized arena, still in Atlanta, but a smaller market-sized arena. If you could picture, the team that plays there is a minor league hockey team, so you can kind of picture one of those just smaller arenas, which I thought was awesome. Couldn't fit as many people in, just a little bit more intimate. The stage took up pretty much the entire floor, and great show. I get there early, I go right to the rail, I'm by myself, but right away I notice the two guys next to me all have Metallica Ninja Star tattoos on their arms. And right away, the photographer walking around for the band also notices as well and takes this photo. There's me in the middle. This scrawny dude in the white shirt is my buddy Chuck. He lives in Georgia like I do. This dude over here was my buddy Lee Smith. We call him Smitty. He lives in South Carolina. We met at the show before it started. Started talking, became friends. I'm actually friends with both of them to this day. I'm really close to Smitty. We've gone to multiple shows over the years together in Atlanta. And we just went to, the last show we went to was a couple years ago, Metallica in Charlotte during the Hardwired to Self-Destruct tour. So Smitty lives in South Carolina. Like I said, Chuck still lives here in Georgia like I do. So really cool. Got to meet those guys. Metallica comes on. Great show. Here's a CD of that show. The Gwinnett Center in Duluth, Georgia, November 14th, or 13th rather, 2004. You guys know how I like to print out the shows and make my own CDs. Anyway, show starts. It's a great show. Really cool set list. They open up with Blackened, go right into Fuel, then Memory Remains, then Wherever I May Roam. Then it goes to Dirty Window, which surprisingly is the only Saint Anger song they play at this show. But it sounds great. Live, sounds awesome. Then they go Unforgiven, which is great. A Treat right after that, which is Leper Messiah. Then I Disappear, Fade to Black, Master of Puppets, Fight Fire with Fire, No Leaf Clover, Nothing Else Matters, Sad But True, One, Enter Sandman, and then for the encore we get a really cool treat, The Wait, then Seek and Destroy. Well, then the fun stuff starts to happen, and like they always do, they're throwing out the guitar picks, James is taking off his wristbands and throwing them. Lars comes around and we're all like, Lars, check out our tattoos! And he looks over and hands me his drumstick. Here's a photo. There's me right there. There's Smitty. There's Lars's head right there. And he's handing me the drumstick. Both of these photos, you can actually go to Metallica's website, Metallica.com, go to past tours, click on 2004, find that show in Duluth, Georgia. Those two photos will be on the website. So that's kind of cool. And here is the stick. So he reaches over, hands it to me, and I grab it like this, and instantly somebody else's hand grabs in the middle. Next thing you know, I'm on the ground. There's somebody on my back, and I'm kind of a small dude, so I smaller at the time. Now I'm old and fat, but I got the stick. I'm on the ground. There's a guy on my back trying to wrestle it out of my hands, and somebody starts kicking me in the friggin' ribs, like 3 or 4 really hard kicks in the ribs, and I'm like, damn, that hurts. All of a sudden, I get pulled up, and security guard has got me, and I see a hand grab my arm, grab my shoulder, whip me around, and it's one of Metallica's security guards. He's got the Metallica crew on the breast of his shirt, the walkie-talkie thing, and he looks at me, he's like, you okay? And I'm like, still got the stick. He's like, all right, and he lets me go. And we start to leave the venue, and me and Smitty and Chuck start talking. We exchange numbers. Like I said, we're still buddies to this day. I go home. I'm stoked. I got my very first item at a Metallica show. I've been a bunch of them up to that point. I had never got anything. So that's my story. Got my stick. Have you guys ever got anything from a show, band member throughout? Pick, stick, wristband, set list, whatnot. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what it was. Hit that like and subscribe. Go find me over on Instagram if you want to. Headbangers Closet. Until next time, guys. Cheers.